Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs. In today's episodes on following Ansel Adams Trail, we're going to shoot the Yosemite Falls. Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs. My name is Serge Ramelli. I am a French photographer living in the beautiful, the romantic, the incredible city of Paris, France. And I'm in Yosemite, California. I make 1 to 2 tutorials per week. Click here if you want to subscribe to my daily newsletter, and then you will get access to all my free lessons, including the source files. All you have to do is sign in, put in your email address, and then you can log in and access to hundreds of free raw files, Lightroom presets, Photoshop brushes. Okay, so in this episode, I want to take a photo of this beautiful waterfall you see behind me. And I've been hiking around a lake because I want to have the water as a foreground element. A friend of mine told me, why don't you use the trees which is there to have 2 trees as a frame in a frame. I'm going to try that, see if that works. If not, I'm going to play around with the lake until I find something. I'm going to try to shoot with a 16-35, pretty wide, and I'm going to try 16 at 35. So let's hunt for the photo. Okay, so my idea of shooting, I'm in landscape mode, portrait mode. So you see, that could be a cool shot with a reflection and the waterfall. And I'm at 35 millimeter. If I go wider, the only thing that I like is that we see the entire mountain, in the reflection. You just got to imagine with the long exposure effect, it could be cool. So that's one idea. But as I move around, you see here, the sun is coming on that mountain. And that could be a cool photo. The only thing that bothers me is that wood that's got no leaf here. That's kind of over the mountain. I don't like that, Photography is all about a simple message, My biggest trouble in photography is what can I get rid of? So I think this one's going to be working the best. I'm going to take it at 16 here, as you can see, and I'm going to punch in at 35. And we'll see which one I keep. I might even keep none of it. We'll see. But let's take the photos. And I'm going to put the ND1000 and take both, actually 3 photos. So that was one idea that my friend Darius told me to try, which is not a bad idea, to have, a frame in a frame with these trees. The problem what I don't like about that framing is that you don't have really 2 trees, you have 3 or 4. And it can work. It looks like a layer of tree on the top of layer of tree. If I go at the bottom, that makes it very busy. More you can simplify your foreground, better it is. All right, so I tried different things. I tried 35 millimeters, so zooming in onto the waterfall. I tried 16. From what I can see, it's kind of hard because of the sun, but when I can see, the one that's in portrait mode and very wide angle, I think is the one I'm going to choose. But sometimes what I see here and when I see on a big iMac 27 screen is not the same. Okay, this is the Yosemite Lower Fall, and I'm trying to find a good way to frame this. So right now, I'm gonna go at 35 because I want to get maybe down here. You see, very low under the wood here, and have the Yosemite in the same time. You know, have the water as a foreground element, and I have this as a background element. But I want to do it with a bit of a long exposure so that the water becomes very flowy, that I like. I think that's the best framing on this one. So let's give it a try and let's see what it gives in black and white. Could be nice because I love long exposure with water. It always gives nice things. Okay, so before I show you how I got to this photo, I just want to remind you that if you go to my website and if you click, mesdames et messieurs, on my gear, not only you get the list of all the gears that I use, so if you like something, you know, you can just have the link to Amazon or B&H, and it also helps to support this podcast. On this page, you can click on here, Adobe Authorized Affinity Partner, and basically what it is, I have a deal with Adobe on the Creative Cloud photography. That is Lightroom and Photoshop. The idea is that you can get 20% off. It's going to detect what country you're in. I'm doing this from the US, so it's US dollars, but whatever country is going to detect and propose you a great deal. You can buy Lightroom as a standalone application for, I think, about 150 euros or dollars, but you cannot buy Photoshop as a standalone. For $7.99 instead of $9.99, you can have both. 2 coffee for Lightroom and Photoshop, the 2 most amazing software on the planet, from my viewpoint, of course. Anyways, back to the photo. So the first photo that I was trying to get, I was showing this to you of the Yosemite Falls, is this one. And actually, at the end of my trip, because I only looked at the photo when I came back, a few days after, and I didn't like the photo at all because I think you have, this tree that's in the foreground. It's just too much things going on. I mean, the message of the Yosemite Falls is like, woo, really far away. One of the key points in photography is the message. Your composition should help to carry out a message. There is too many messages, like it's not clear what I'm trying to communicate. So that's why in the video, you saw me going closer to the Yosemite Falls, because I first, when you go to the Yosemite Falls, there is a little way that takes you to this place first, where you're still a bit far away. And I was trying to get a photo from this one. That's the one you saw in the video. And I didn't like that because there is a lot of, it's still very far. There's a lot of rock. It's distracting. So I tried to, different angles, going up, zooming in, totally blurry, zooming in, not so blurry. Didn't go. So I took my courage with my both hand, and voila, I went directly to the bottom of the Yosemite Falls, literally at the foot of the fall. And I was really happy because if you see me in the video, there's a little wooden bridge, and I went very low because I'm trying to get this water. So that's what you see without an ND filter, 1/25 of a second at f4.5 ISO 200, which is completely a mistake. It was just a little test shot that I did. And then I put on an ND filter. Oh no, I didn't put an ND filter. What I tried to do is, and that's what, because ND filters do give a color cast. So what I did is I put my camera at ISO 50, which is like an artificial ISO, very low sensitivity. I closed to f22, and I was hoping for a 2-second, exposure, but there was so much water coming from the waterfall that it ruined the shot. For one, it just didn't work. So then, what did I do? Then I tried it again, but I still had a big water drop on it. I didn't like it. So then what I did is I put on the ND1000 filter and kept ISO 50, 113, and I went to 5 seconds, and I don't know how I managed it, but I got a photo without water drops. So I was very happy, and that's, I think, how I retouched it. Let's see, is this the same photo? No, it's not the same photo. Let me show you. I'm going to reset this one. Yeah, that's another one. This one is 5 second f13. This one is, what's the difference? That's funny. Oh, I know what it is. I'm sorry. I did not put an ND 1000. I put an ND variable filter. You can find this in my gear page. The variable, basically the way it works is that that's the way I use it. I decide, okay, I want F13, 5 second, I want a 5-second exposure because 5 second is going to give me the nice thing. And then you just turn your ND variable until you see in your display, that the photo is properly exposed. It's really very convenient. So the variable was too strong there. I turned it to make it a bit lighter, and that's the photo I got. And that's the one we're going to retouch. Because I tried some as a composition, but I was not as happy with this one. Like, for example, you can see the bridge here. I had to go very low. I think it was very important to get the water as a foreground element, with all this flow. Look at this. I love how it flows like this. There's something about flowy water that I like. Okay, and this is another one. We could retouch this one, but I think I really like this one, the one I gave 3 stars to. And then I tried to get a much closer, and I find this less sexy because, look, this is more interesting. Sorry, this one is more interesting. You have the foreground, middle ground, background. This one, you only have like a middle ground and a background. Where is the foreground? Who stole my foreground? Okay. And then I tried 3 other things, but I rather kill myself than retouch this photo. I'm just kidding. No, they're not amazing. I think the one I like the most is this one. And I'm going to use the famous Ansel Adams Lightroom preset that you can get for free, mesdames et messieurs, if you subscribe to my daily newsletter. And so I'm going to use that to retouch this photo. The way it works is once you install the Ansel Adams Yosemite presets. Okay, let me close all me. I have so many presets. Because on my website, you can find over 2,000 presets. Anyways, so that's the first one is called AA Basic. AA Basic is already pretty good. AA stands for Ansel Adams, or whatever you want, but that was my inspiration. Okay, and then you have the AA Drama Gradient Filter. Let's take even more crazy. And then you have the AA Drama Radial Circle Dark, even more crazy. And then you have the AA Drama Radial Circle Light. Let's see this one. Ooh, light is good. And then AA Drama Radial Circle Middle. Okay, so I'm going to go for the light. Remember, a preset is only a starting point. Okay, and I'm going to go here. I'm going to press the Alt key and see where my black point is. It's a bit too strong, so I'm going to back it down. I don't want so much black. Then my white point, I'm going to push it to the max. I really want the water to be white. Good, good, good. The exposure, let's see. What if I double click and put the exposure, back at 0? Or just maybe a little bit. Yeah, something like this I kind of like. Contrast is pretty strong. Let's play around with contrast. But I really want it to be contrasty. And this is not a big sensor spot. This is some kind of weird cloud formation, but I sort of don't like it so much. So, to finish this off, mesdames et messieurs, I'm going to take a brush. I'm going to put it on exposure. And I'm going to make sure my brush is around 70. And I'm going to, with my mouse, I'm making it big or small. And I'm going to brush on the water. Because I want the water to be more, I want the water to be more white, Because it is important in life to have white water. If you don't have white water in life, it is not funny. Okay, let me show you before and after. I'm sorry if I'm playing around with a French accent. I know it annoys some people. I know it makes some other people happy. So, you cannot make everybody happy. And I'm going to just make this sky a bit brighter. I don't know. This really bothers me. Like, that cloud looks so much like a sensor spot or a drop. So I'm going to just click on it and not do that. No. Oh, that's because I'm on tool overlay. You see tool overlay, it says never. I'm going to put it back on auto. When I do that, I can control where my circle is going. And I'm going to make sure it goes here in a clean spot. Let's see here. No, it doesn't do a good job. Okay, I'm going to erase it and I'm going to do something different. I'm going to make it smaller, much smaller. I'm just going to paint here a little bit. And I hope it's going to do something good. Yeah, not so good. Okay, never mind. I'm going to do a different technique on this one. I'm going to reset this. I'm going to do a radial circle here over the spot. And if not, I will go to Photoshop. I will not cease until it's gone. Okay, and I just added a bit of exposure. That's perfect. You see, I added just a little bit of exposure, and I just made this one away. Okay, cool. Um, okay, it's not bad. Maybe a little bit more contrast because we can. Oh, there is a little water dust here, water drop, sorry, on the sensor. But you know what? I'm going to leave it because it adds some of the charm. I think the overall photo is really too dark. So I'm going to add some radial circle. I want to add some more lights. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm making a mistake. I already have some lights here. Remember that I use a preset. When you use a preset, you already have some circles pre-done. So this one, I'm going to keep it this way. Let's see what other circles we have. This one, I'm just trying to make this. I don't like when it's too dark. I like the whole dark thing, but that much dark, that's crazy. That's like in the dark you want to kill yourself with. It's not good. Okay, boom, tac, voila. And this, what is this? This is also, so that's different circles. If you follow, if it's the first one you see on the Yosemite series, I invite you to watch the other one so you understand better how I created the circles and why I created them. But you see, with the circle, without the circle, just makes a bit brighter. This one is a bit too strong, so I'm going to lower it a little bit. You know, it's like the good old dodge and burn technique that they used to do back in the old days of black and white. But I'm happy. This is, mesdames et messieurs, the Yosemite Falls. So if you like this type of retouching, I can only invite you to jump over to photoserge.com, click on tutorials, and there, mesdames et messieurs, you will see a lot of tutorials, including the famous Lightroom CC Complete training. It's 6 hours of training, and it really covers completely Lightroom, from importing to geotagging your photos to making books to retouching all kind of photos, making panoramas, HDR, making websites, doing slideshows. Everything is included. And because you're watching the video, please tell no one, but I'm going to make you a little extra discount if you put in the code PLP248. That is PLP248. If you do that, you will have a surprise. Okay, mesdames et messieurs, I hope you like this, and I will see you in another episode. Do you want to get hundreds of RAW files from all over the place where you can play around with? Do you want to get amazing free Lightroom presets, free brushes, free Photoshop actions? All you have to do is enter your email address. You will receive an email. You can then create an account, and then you can access this free lesson tab. You can choose from over 200 free lessons. Every free lesson is going to have source files for you to download and play around with. It's a great way to learn photography, learn post-processing for nothing. No money, it's all free. It's a gift to you as a member of photoserge.com. So thank you and welcome, and let's do some photos together.